It's gonna be a tough one.
And it will be, but before it becomes a tough one, it has to be an intro. And in the upper right, in a blue, he's playing for Little Fairy. It's ForJumy.
That is a really funny team name. I like it. And spawning over in the bottom left, we've been speaking about him. It is the Red Zerg. It is Wayne.
I mean, Ben, you're talking about weird team names. Which do you like more? Do you like Little Fairy? Or do you like Starlight Twinkle?
Ooh.
Because Wayne plays for Starlight Twinkle.
I think they are neck and neck, you know? Like, moving on from games like, or names like Good Game Gaming, which I also thought was kind of a... That's still one of my favorites, actually. That's just funny. Oh, look at this, what we got from Wayne over on the other side of the map. A nice little proxy hatchery blocking this base. Now, the ideal number of probes is actually 7 to pull to deal with this most efficiently. He's only got 6 there. So this will actually take quite a bit longer for ForJumy than he would have liked. I'm a bit surprised that he didn't pull 7.
I mean, I guess. Oh, there's the 7. But no, never mind.
No,
There's just 6 building something more. I don't know. It's a little bit interesting right there. But so it's kind of funny. We look at Wayne, we look at Young Yakov, we look at Fly, and for the longest time, they all kind of occupied the similar space in my head of these Eastern European Zergs who are all kind of cheesy. And then Wayne learned to play macro play, but as he's showing us right now, Ben, he can be a little cheeky too.
I mean, like, you look at the health there. It is very much skirting around very similar numbers. Now, there is a Zealot out, which will deal with this, but this already blocked him for way longer than I think he would have liked, and he lost a lot of mining time because that happened. That is just stuff that I'm a little bit surprised that ForJumy didn't pull a 7th worker there, and now he's in a bit of a spot where this game, he's no longer playing the game that he's been preparing for, like, at all. And Wayne is definitely more experienced in this kind of situation than ForJumy is. So, yeah, it's definitely gonna... It's not gonna get better before it gets worse, I think, for ForJumy. But this drone will eventually fall. Not before spotting the Adept, though.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out here as well is that it's clear that ForJumy has dealt with this before. Because when you're Wayne and you're doing what you've done right now, and you go, you block, whatever, and then you try to steal a gas. All right, that's just how that's going to work. So ForJumy, you just had a probe sitting there, so blocking the AoE that you can go and build something on, much like if you were trying to prevent a Zerg from putting a drone on gas as they're trying to take the 3rd, is the Terran, and just prevented that extra thing. So Wayne blocked the natural a little bit, but at the very least, these small things show us that ForJumy this is not the first time he's been proxy hatched. He roughly knows how things are going to go.
I'll disagree with you slightly, and I'll tell you why. So once you hit 16 probes on that mineral line, having any extra, if you plan on removing them anytime soon, just kind of messes up the probes a little bit. So he just had them rally to his natural. He was also supply blocked on 31 out of 31 for a long time. And it was like one of those where he's at 31 supply, trying to build probes, then he only just built a pylon. So I think ForJumy has already been a little bit flustered here. Wayne does have link speed finished. He's also got 3 bases nicely set up here. Like, he didn't suffer any kind of Adept on his side of things. ForJumy's even going for double Robo over here.
Ooh,
I'm very interested, because this also makes me think that maybe he's a little bit nervous, but hey, if this is planned, then super cool. Oh, double Robo Bay? 2 gas? That's crazy.
What is he? Okay, so Ben, double gas, double Robo Bay. If you had to take a stab at things, this is, and there we go. He's adding, at least he's adding on the extra gas. Disruptor drops?
I mean, okay, some players are known for certain unit comps. Wayne is absolutely known for loving Hydra, like Hydraling Bane timing attacks. So having double Robo back there, that is crazy. Like, ForJumy is a crazy boy, and I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I don't know what he's going to do with it, because that is a hard thing to afford at this point in time. But he's absolutely utilizing it, and yeah, disruptors, but again, supply blocked. So he chrono boosted it while he supply blocked. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not great, but yeah, so Warp Prism speed, disruptors on the way, and I think it was Estrella actually in Katowice did something somewhat similar, this double Robo type of opening into, I want to say for him it was gateway pressure afterwards. It was a 2-base double robo into a 2-base all-in follow-up. It's going to be interesting to see what ForJumy goes for here. As he accidentally picks up a probe. You don't want to do that one. Now, but you're right. Wayne, he's the Hydra Bane guy. In fact, I've cast a couple games of Wayne where he doesn't even get the Hydras. It's just Massling Bane against anything, and he swamps it and kills it anyways because he's Wayne. And, well, Disruptors against units like that, they're not the best. Lings are small. They're fast. Disruptors aren't as nearly as effective as, say, killing Roaches or Ravagers or something that's that much more supply effective.
And Wayne is over here where the Adepts were located. So ForJumy most likely wanted to keep them ready to do like some kind of dual synced up attack here with that Warp Prism. Now, I don't know if the Warp Prism's been spotted by Wayne, but that Warp Prism has a lot of pressure on its shoulders to do something pretty miraculous over here. Wayne doesn't really have units in position, and he's already ready to pull here. And 1 Queen and 2 drones for the first showing. He wants to get more than that, I can tell you.
Yeah, the dead Queen is almost by default. You're not really going to be able to defend that all that much. You're just too slow, and, well, Disruptor shots are fast. But Wayne, look at his immediate response. He's like, I know you don't got enough here. And, wait, what? Okay, no, that was a recall. Okay, I was like, I know you don't got enough, so I'm going to go pressure in. And Disruptors, they're not going to be off cooldown. Not just yet. Shots are, now they're going to go up. Oh, big. Only 2. Nice splits there from Wayne at the end. But seems like he's going to be forced back.
Yeah, ForJumy's absolutely in an all-in position here. Like, he's against a 4-base Zerg very soon to be, and he's getting big tech, but these Disruptors, oh my goodness, they're getting in a Larry position here. Like, that Warp Prism can't quite be sniped here, so it's a nice spot for it to just sit back. At least I don't think it can be hit. Okay, I heard some Queens hitting somewhere, so he did get it out, but now he's got 2 Warp Prisms on the map, and he's going for double Robo Colossus, which, again, the gas required for everything that he's doing is huge. And that Spire, it counters pretty much everything that he's able to make right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's funny. I thought that defensive play was, well, due to a recall. No, it's double Warp Prism. Shots. 7 go down. That's far more. It's still not enough for ForJumy, but getting 7 workers there is going to be really nice. And he's going to scout the Spire. The Spire play is so beautiful, right? Against a bunch of big Robotech, when you really, again, it's 2-base lacking gas. You're not going to have a lot of Stalkers to defend. But now ForJumy, he knows that there's a Spire on the way. Theoretically, he should be able to get some defense up. He's got 8 Stalkers on the way. He didn't cancel the Colossus, so now he's on 4 Disruptors, 3 Colossus, building Stalkers. This army, Ben, this army is just, it's massive.
It's really big, and Wayne's super supply blocked here. Like, he has absolutely been thrown off here by what ForJumy's bringing. Like, he's got that Spire. It's going to be done very soon. And when he sees all this, it's like, do you make Corruptors against this? Do you make Roach Ravager? What do you do? But the fact that he's as supply blocked as possible, like, ForJumy doesn't realize, or, I mean, if he knew how good a timing this was, he's just going to keep on going. I think he does.
Yeah, so now Bailey's trying to make contact, and again on the sentries, but Disruptor shots, they're still pretty solid here. There is not a lot for Wayne right now. He's got 39 Lings, more on the way, starting to build those Roaches. Bailey's again getting ready. But this splash damage, I mean, Spore's doing a good job against the Colossus. This timing that ForJumy hit, I mean, it feels like it was telegraphed for a mile. Even still, ForJumy is just on top of things. Lings on the backside, though, trying to get the Colossus. It should not go down. We have a Warp Prism, but 2 Colossus fall anyways. It's going to be a 3rd dead. The micro's not there. This was an opportunity for ForJumy. It really should have. I should have killed Wayne, but he doesn't micro his Colossus back. None of his Robo units are put in those in the double Warp Prism, and everything's dead. I really think Wayne should have died there.
I was actually very worried for him as well. And, you know, we had 2 Warp Prisms to use for doing pickup micro. Granted, pickup micro can be a little bit tricky, but, mate, that army just kind of marched on into the fire, into the flames, got a massive wraparound, and it's not every day you see a bunch of Colossus die to Lings, but we've seen it a few times today, so not the first. And now Wayne is sitting fairly pretty. He's on 3 bases, getting his meter out for these Warp Prisms, which are very, very annoying, but he's down to 1 Disruptor. He had 4 flying around. Like, this is a fun memey build from ForJumy, but unfortunately his days are numbered. I mean,
it's not just a fun memey build. This is a build that absolutely could have worked. We saw what happened. I mean, again, ForJumy was hitting up 20 army supply, 3 Colossus, 4 Disruptors, 2 Warp Prisms to effectively allow you to blink 2 Colossus at a time. Like, that should have been doable. That really should have worked. And instead, just not a lot happens. ForJumy again, he's still all in. And now the Mutas on the other side, it's only 5 of them. It's not a ton, but no shield battery in the main. No shield battery in the natural. No cannons either base. These Mutas, they can wipe out the entire mineral line. But again, the army of ForJumy, it's still scary. But Ben, it's not nearly as scary as it was.
No, Wayne he's prepared this time. It's like, oh, you tried to do that against me? Yeah, that was cute. And even pulling the probes here. ForJumy taking the page from the Terran book of all-ins and pulling all the eco workers, and you kind of might as well, I suppose, because, yeah, this army is not long for this world over here, and trapped in a corner, biles for days, and wow, that army just absolutely got obliterated.
And there we go. Wayne, I think, does whatever we all expect here, and he takes game 1, but that build from ForJumy, that was pretty cool. And I think if he executes it a little better, I think that actually does work. Maybe I'm crazy.
Do you still have the game graph available for the army value?
Yeah.
Is that something you can put on the stream?
Yes, I can. Would you like to? God.
I think it's absolutely worth watching or looking at. So yeah, that blue line there, that big drop, that is, and that little tiny red drop. Yeah, that's how that game went. That was
yeah, that's
gorgeous.
Depressing, Ben. Depressing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you really have to, you see it happen, and it's like you see that Protoss army. It was absolutely meant to win that game. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I mean, it just got absolutely bopped on, didn't he? Very unfortunate for ForJumy, because it was like a whole build-up for that moment, and it looked like it was all going well, all looked like it was going well. Then it was just like, well, yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah, and again, we were talking about this early on, where Wayne is one of these players that he loves his upgraded Lings, his Ling Bane. And it's not uncommon to see him kill Colossus armies, Stalker Colossus armies with just swarms of Ling Bane and beautiful engagements. But unfortunately, I feel like this is the second or third time we've talked about it today, where you have a Protoss player that just seems to be letting the fight happen rather than actively microing it as well as they should have. And, that happens. Banelings connect. Roaches, Ravagers connect. Everything goes down. But, Ben, luckily, we have another shot. There's another opportunity. Game 2 is ready.
Yeah, not down and out just yet. Anyhow, spawning over in the bottom right here of Oceanborn, and as I read Zerg, it is Wayne.
And of course, his opponent in the upper left, in the blue, his build was cool. Unfortunately, not able to quite make it work. His name is ForJumy.
Yeah, poor ForJumy in that last game, because it really looked like the stars were aligning for him to really kind of make magic happen. Because the build, I was kind of like, is that an error with the double robot? It obviously was not an error. He had that planned, and the first Disruptor reveal didn't do that much. Then the latter ones, when he kind of synced up 2, got 7 drones with the first shot, 2 more drones in the top, and it was like, okay, I see this happening. Like, this actually has a lot of like fuel in the tank to get things going. But yeah, just brutal. Like, it just shows you that StarCraft 2 is a very unforgiving game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you make one mistake and it is, especially at this level, you're playing in, I don't know, Gold League or something, you can make plenty of mistakes. But when you're competing with your tournament life on the line, as these two players are, because again, they're at 1 and 2. You lose the series, you're out of the tournament. You win, you still got to play another series. You just get to play in round 5 tomorrow. So not only, again, are they playing against very good players, I think Wayne, we talked about this getting into this series, is a player that I expected to get out 3-1, 3-0 maybe. So he's a very good player. And all that added stress, if you lose this series, you're out of the tournament. Well, mistakes are going to happen, but it cannot happen. It's so hard to recover.
It really is. It really is. And that game 1, you got to remember, like, Wayne brought a proxy hatch that I think ForJumy maybe didn't handle quite the best in the first place. But still, a game became of it. This game, far more what ForJumy's probably practiced for. We see that he did a little hatchery block at the start, so it's further away, natural for Wayne over here. And no shenanigans on his side of the map. So far, everything that ForJumy's doing is stuff that he's planned and prepped for. So probably going to be seeing a, I want to say a more collected for ForJumy this game.
Yeah, certainly. And I think ForJumy is a very good player. Like, I know we've been talking about Wayne and ForJumy maybe not microing as well as he should have on that pressure, but ForJumy is a solid player and at times has really looked like he's going to have a lot of promise. Now, of course, he hurt his wrist pretty badly. He had to take some time off the game. But he is absolutely a player that even if he doesn't win a game in this series, he can make himself look good. I do think that a lot of what we looked at in that last game was, you know, he didn't get to play the game he wanted to play. A lot of stress there, a lot of nerves involved. And I mean, Ben, this is ForJumy's, I think it's only his second ESL Masters, DreamHack Masters tournament. So you're not going to have a lot of experience playing like that.
No, he's a lovely lad. And like if I see some of the players that these guys have gone up against, and again, I'll keep bringing this up. Wayne, 2-1 Young Yakov, 1-2 against Clem, and then 0-2 Gung Fu Banda. And for all intents and purposes, that series against Gung Fu Banda, yeah, it's strange seeing him here. ForJumy, on the other hand, 0-2 Clem, 0-2 Young Yakov, then 2-1 Night Phoenix. I mean, some of these players are not easy that they've ran into, but Wayne being here is a surprise. Not the kind of guy that you want to go up against if you're ForJumy, but he definitely made Wayne work for that first game. Roach Warren does start now. On ForJumy's side of things, he has one Oracle out already. It's going for a second. Stargate players where Protoss players feel comfortable. They get to scout, maybe deal a little bit of damage, maybe not, but if you can keep those Oracles alive for a long time, they're very useful throughout the game.
So Ben, what I'm hearing here, right, is that ForJumy can go
800 minerals.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. He was at 800 minerals just then. So this third base of his has been delayed for a very long time.
Just by a couple lings as well. That's, I mean, Wayne kind of baiting this out as well. More lings onto the other side, but there are adepts. Although no Oracle over top just yet. So, yeah, no, adepts are trapped here. The lings should not be able to put a cancel on this, but I mean, this is a lot of lings for ForJumy, or for Wayne adding in even more. He should be able to make something happen, but maybe he forces the Oracle back on.
I mean, the Oracles do show themselves, but 2 drones for 1 Oracle dead, not what you want at all. And guess what's happened on the other side of the map? In fact, Wayne's so crazy, man. So what's he done? He's actually made 3 roaches here. He's got about 28 lings. This is very reminiscent of what Dom Ragu would do back in the day to deal with Warp Prism stuff, but yeah, he's playing. Wayne's crazy, man. Wayne is actually crazy. I really like this kind of stuff. If he does feel that his opponent doesn't respect it, he can potentially deal a lot of eco damage, but yeah, Wayne is not about sitting back and taking the punches like a regular Zerg. He is all about throwing you off and making you play his game, not your own.
Certainly, and I don't know how I feel about these Ravagers, though, right? Because
so just bear with me. He's going to try and wrap around units, surround them so they can't move, then drop the Biles. And against what ForJumy's done, those Adepts can be in a real problematic spot if that is what he does.
Yeah, I buy that one.
Like busting the wall, it opens up everything for him, doesn't it?
It does. I was worried about the Oracles, being able to fly back home, just sit on top of the Ravagers, and again, that's 300 gas. That's expensive. But if you just use them to bust the wall down, then bring them back home, that's a brilliant play. And now this pylon should fall down. It's going to depower before the 3rd Oracle pops out. Actually, Oracle's on top of things. Pylon will stay alive on, man, 28 HP. But even still, it's a scout. 6 probes go down. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. And Wayne continues to get here in ForJumy's head.
And look at the probe count, or worker count even. Like, it's not as if Wayne's been all in with this, is it? Like, he's actually sitting and macroing behind it, and he made those lings, and we talked about how it's probably quite a lot of lings, but then he's like, oh, I'll make a few more, and then I'll make 3 roaches into Ravagers, and he kept those Oracles back at home. And he also got a bit of information there that a 4th Oracle was being made, and yeah, he's got decent creep spread, good eco, going up to Hydra as well. He's a man that loves his Hydra. I think ForJumy's getting himself in trouble, and yet again here.
No, certainly. Now, ForJumy it seems like he's following the same algorithm from game 1. It's different, but adding in that second Robo, adding in Colossus as well. And he does have better economy this time. So last time, he did almost beat Wayne. But I almost wonder, Ben, because he is here on 6 gas. He is on 3 base. Whether the fact that he has money is almost a problem, right? Because he hit that time because he had to go all in and he almost won the game. Now that he's going to try to sit here and just defend and play a macro game, well, that feels a little bit harder, actually, just given the state of things.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit fortunate in a sense that it was this game exactly where Wayne got himself a lead, and it was a 10 times bigger lead than this one, by the way, against Gung Fu. And he managed to throw it pretty horrendously by just not being able to get the fight that he wanted. But yeah, we're kind of in Wayne's playground here. This is a really nice scout, just getting to see that Robo's tweaking away, which absolutely gives you the heads up that it's absolutely Colossus. It's, you know, at this point in time, it's not going to be anything else. So he knows what he's up against as well. And he's getting an infestation pit, so that makes me think that he's seen that, and he's absolutely like, all right, if these attacks don't work, at least I can work my way to Vipers, which absolutely will.
Yeah, so for now, he's going to try to take the fight. The Colossus aren't really joining things, so already Biles land. Adepts, they're going to sit to the front line, but I mean, Adepts versus Hydras with Roaches in front just do not fight here. Diving on top of the Colossus here as well. Shield Battery Overcharge is nice, but one Colossus already dead. Biles are going to kill the Overcharge, at least get damage done to it. And at this point, Ben, even if this army gets forced back, a nice pickup there on the Warp Prism, even if this army gets forced back, it has done enough damage. Wayne has shattered the tech of this setup here. He's killed off a couple workers, knocked down the infrastructure. He may even get this third base, and unless everything dies for his nothing, and even then, this is a beautiful move for Wayne. He's very happy. In fact, he's gonna kill the Colossus that was just allowed to walk down. It was so low. ForJumy kept it alive for so long, but now there's no tech, there's no economy. ForJumy, again, it's a rough spot.
And yeah, and Wayne's still 184 supply against 97, and that hive halfway done. Theo, we talked about it. Like those Colossus that you thought maybe there might be an issue, they haven't been. He's been taking them out with these Lair Tech units.
Yeah.
And Roach Hydra, it's not a comp you see all the time, but having this much of it against an opponent that you're staying equal on upgrades against and all that jazz, ForJumy, he's in so much trouble here. He's going to be up to 3 Colossus, which is a cool number to have of them, but everything else he has nothing and no eco to fall back on.
No, not really. Double Disruptor on the way, and that's going to be nice, but it's not out just yet. Now, that's a decent stasis, and it will force things back because this has been a bit of an awkward fight from Wayne, right? Only half of his army was fighting. It was up a choke. His army gets stasis trapped a little bit. You don't want to take fights like that, and certainly not when a Lurker Den's on the way. 3 Vipers are on the way. +2 attack is just about done. Yeah, ForJumy's going Stargate, but he doesn't have the gas for it. He's not going to really be able to afford the carrier count or the Tempest count or the Mothership maybe, but he's not going to be able to afford the gas for whatever he wants to build out of these Stargates. So even as that being a thing, I mean, it's not going to be out in time.
Whatever decision he makes at this point, it feels like the wrong one almost. And I feel for him. Now he has solidified 3 bases. He's getting out of Immortals because he's dealing with a lot of roaches, and he's trying to get scouting information. And credit to him, he gets to see that Lurker Den is going up, and he gets to see a hive as well. But all that makes you do at this point is have that big gulp where you're like, oh dear, it's you know, this is my last life on the line here. And remember, the loser of this doesn't have a second chance. They will be at 3 losses in this group, and Wayne, he's looking fierce here. The macro's been strong, the aggression's been strong, and ForJumy's feeling the heat.
That he is, and the fleet beacon's done, right? But it's only a single Stargate. Okay, so ForJumy is going to go for a Mothership. Talk about a Hail Mary play. A reminder, Motherships are cheaper now. They move faster. They're smaller. They don't have permanent cloaking, and nothing's energy-based anymore. That being said, ForJumy is going to try to survive here, but Wayne does not want to give him the opportunity. Abducts on the Colossus, the Disruptors as well. Infinite and a Blinding Cloud on top, so the Stalkers can't fight. All the tech evaporated once again. And yeah, 2 Immortals, they can be pretty solid there, Ben. Not against this army. Not right now. Not with how just big the supplies are. So ForJumy, he tried to say the Hail Mary, didn't get past H. Did not happen. Wayne moves on to tomorrow.